Good morning, race fans, and welcome to Today at the Races at Laurel Park on this, the last Sunday of October. Tim Tulloch, joined by the voice of Maryland Racing, Dave Rodman. Glad to have you back. It's been a while since we worked together.
Yeah, together, right? It's been a while. You know, picked a few losers in between. So today's the day to get hot, right?
Today's the day to get hot on a particularly chilly fall morning, the day before Halloween. I have to go back 2007. I had a horse in by the name of Boogeyman on Halloween, and he won. You made the call, and I'll never forget it. Who else on Halloween but Boogeyman? $17 winner under Louis Garcia.
I thought you were going to say I started singing Casey and the Sunshine Band. I'm your Boogeyman.
Yeah. Well, it could have happened.
Yeah,
it could have. You just didn't think of it.
That was my favorite karaoke song, by the way. The one time I did karaoke, just to let you know. Yeah, we had a couple of Halloween hunches yesterday, right? A Spiritual Ghost. We had a Zevon, a Werewolves of London. He ran okay, and the Haunted Ghost, I think, ran fourth yesterday. So we're due for a Halloween hunch horse, right?
Yeah. We'll see if we can pull up the video footage of your karaoke with Casey and the Sunshine Band.
You still have the video of your horse winning on Halloween?
We
can play that one on the lightning round, maybe.
There we go. Race one. Again, welcome. We're going to go to Monday racing next week. We've seen our last Thursday for a while. We go to Monday racing next week. Next week's schedule is Friday through Monday. So we look forward to moving to Mondays next week, Dave, and we'll see how that goes. The weather outside is a little chilly, no doubt.
Yeah, a little frost on the roof, a little frost on the pumpkin this morning, and no frost on the windshield, but it's getting there, right? But it warms up nicely through the day right now in the mid-50s, kind of similar weather we've had for the last few days here at Laurel. And look at that, fast, and hey, we got firm on the turf course today.
Firm, how about that? I didn't, Dave, Keith and I were talking about the fact that we might not see firm again this year, but good. It firmed up a little bit this afternoon for today's card, and that's where we're going to start with race one. This is for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won 2 races. The claiming price is $25,000. It's going 5.5 furlongs on what is listed as a firm turf course, and we're going to start with your top pick, Dave. This is the 3 Rock Rose for Jose Corrales. Mr. Rodriguez gets the call. Corrales has been trying to get this one on the grass. 2 good efforts on off the turf. I like this pick.
Exactly what I was going to say. Corrales has been looking to get this horse on the grass. Third time in the barn. They tried to get her on the grass first time. I got rained out and won. A horse 16 non-winners of 2 in the slot, then came back with a really good race behind Sensun again. A race taken off the turf on the slop. Sensun came back to win Thursday, 3 in a row. Dreaming of Audrey came back to win out of that race on the turf, although it was for $12,500, but put up a good number and did it convincingly with a 72 buyer number. Would a 72 buyer number on the grass win this race? I think so.
I think so. Get it done.
Out of a Damn Sweet Rose, who was an allowance winner on the turfs. The number 2, Ribaldry. I see your top pick. The blinkers did the trick, right? Last out for Arnaud Delacour. Had a good trip, though, in doing so. But might get a good trip again today. Got that similar inside post, was a little speed maybe in front. Tipped out in between, shifted out, and got up in a game performance. Focused was the key there.
Good race on October 20th while getting the job done. Ran behind Gastown Babe this past June. Arnaud Delacour, 19% off this type of layup, but he's having a very, very strong fall meet here at Laurel Park.
Yeah, and actually with a maiden winner last out and coming right back, he's 27%, $1.79, 24 for 90, $1.79 ROI. So that's pretty good for Arnaud Delacour, the strong meet. Our Strong Vows is kind of a filly that I toyed with a little bit here and maybe could have gone that way. First time Lasix, second time here for trainer Robbie Bales. Back on the grass after that race at Colonial where she was 6 beaten 3 lengths against much better company. Spun Glass, runner-up, came back to win. Chambeau out of that race came back to win. I looked at that race. She's not a real big filly. That's what I saw from her, and she tried to shift in a little bit through the stretch run, but maybe we'll see a different horse today with Lasix. Her numbers kind of fit right there. Horatio Caramana, 6 for 21 this meet on the turf.
Well, maybe we can get a little insight from Forrest Boyce, who will be joining me this afternoon for our afternoons program because she has ridden this one a couple times. We have to talk real quick. We'll touch real quick on the 5 Romanosa for Christophe Clement. Angel Suarez gets the call, coming off a little bit of a layoff, only making her 3rd North American start, but her first 2 starts at the end level in New York, now drops to the 2 for 25.
Head scratcher here because her best races in France were on the soft, the heavy going, a lot of cut in the ground. I know maybe the turf a little softer, you could argue here. Now this time of year, it's been listed good all week long. Drops in for the tag. Her 2 races in New York didn't really dazzle me. I thought she tracked well taken into a rating hold, going 7/8 and going a mile. And then they kind of swamped her in the last 1/8 of a mile. I don't know, 5.5. She better have her running shoes on to sprint, but the drop may do the trick for her for the Christophe Clement barn.
Long stretch to make up some ground here at Laurel Park.
And Queen Cashmere is by Can the Man. You got to can the man. You got to try him on the turf, man. They're 20% turf sprint. That's sire. And this is the horse's first try on the grass for trainer Dale Capuano. So even though a 9-horse field, a lot of ways to go in the opener.
Well, we covered a lot of horses here in race 1 to kick off the early pick 5. Race 2 starts the early pick 4. Dave, you put together a ticket. Let's check out how you played it.
Well, I mean, a lot of people are going to single the 5. Mauritius, that's why I won a $12 ticket. If she wins, he wins this race. Obviously, you're looking at a smaller type payoff in the pick 4, but a little protection now that the 7 Celtic Cousin is out with the 2 Flavian, who's known early speed. We know what we have here. He's pretty quick early up front. He's going to go right to the lead, I think, on the front, on the inside. Mauritius probably going to try to challenge, but I had to throw that horse in as protection, going 4 deep in a wide open 3rd race, 5, 6, 9, 10. My single of the day, send him with a 1, and after that, forget about it. With the 1 horse, and in the 5th race, numbers 1, 2, and 8 there. A little more open race with a couple of angles with Sister Mac in here, getting the blinkers on. The 2 horse, most impressive, going to be the favorite in there off of numbers and form, and saucy first-time Lasix as well here for trainer Brett Brinkman. We'll have more on that filly a little later on. So 2, 5, 5, 6, 9, 10 with 1, 1, 2, 8. That's 12.
Race 2 kicks off the early pick 4. This one's for maiden 3, 4, and 5-year-olds, 6 furlongs on the main track, and we are going to start with our top pick and our video spotlight. This race is from March 5th. This is Mauritius at Santa Anita, and he got beat by a pretty interesting horse this day.
Yeah, let's watch in the yellow cap. Mauritius here chasing the pace out of the gate there. You'll find Mauritius coming into the pace. The horse in the red cap, a nice little horse named Taba, right? Who won the Santa Anita Derby, was 12th in the Kentucky Derby, 2nd in the Haskell, won the Pennsylvania Derby. So we'll show you the run down the backstretch because this horse ranged up into the pace there, and there's Taba on the inside. And then finally faded in the stretch. Taba drew off, was beaten 7 lengths in running second. But there you go. I mean, I think that's a pretty good effort, right? Out there 3 deep against quality horses. First time in the Brittany Russell barn. 6 for 23 on the main track this meet is that barn out of Baffert's barn off since March. And there's Taba drawing off, and there we go. There's Mauritius.
And a good race there. And as you mentioned, first time with Brittany. This is my best bet of the day. All the stats work. And when they come out of Brittany's barn, have been working very, very well in the morning. The 6 is Crack the Code for Georgie Duarte. Other than his debut, Dave, this is a horse that's been, this is a gelding that's been pretty good, never run a bad one.
Yeah, he's the horse you kind of fear if Mauritius goes quick and Flavian's going to try to push him along a little bit. He finished a solid 3rd, galloped out in okay fashion last time out at Monmouth in the maiden special weight company there. Decent numbers, but seems to maybe not have the early lick that the 5 and possibly the 2 have in this spot. The 6, Crack the Code. We talked about Flavian. The 3 is Mo Money Mo Betta. Turf to Dirt, a low percentage trainer here, but I thought it was a good effort. Also getting Lasix for the first time. Ran against a decent field there on the grass, so Lunar Dash has kind of been eating a little money, right? Yeah, I just threw the horse in the mix, really. So I went 2 and 5 there, as you saw earlier on the pick 4.
Yeah, well, it looks like we're both going to need Mr. Corrales this afternoon. Race 3 is back on the turf course, going 5.5 furlongs. This is for 3-year-olds and upward, which have started for a claiming price of $8,000 or less in their last 3 starts, or claiming price $12,500. We'll start with your top pick, Dave. This is the 5, Infagitable for Ferris Allen. Gene Ovallo gets the call, and we're going to look at his race from September 5th. Down there at Colonial Downs.
Yeah, this is his 5th try today on the grass ever since putting a 6th try actually on the turf. But his last few on the grass have been really nice. A good closing kick he's got. He's got that late rally style. The horse that ran 3rd in this race came back for Larry Ravelli to win. There you go. The horse that ran 3rd to win at Hawthorne next time out, and has been running back up in the Midwest. Has been putting up some decent numbers as well. He's been super consistent, this horse, since moving to turf sprints for trainer Ferris Allen III. The 6 Papal Law is a horse I kind of fear in this spot, although I've seen some good runs from him going long and some upset prices. He can sprint. Look at his sprints alone at Penn National, July, Laurel back here last year in the fall. He's got a good closing kick. He gets Geron Barbosa, leading rider, aboard this afternoon. The 9-year-old looking to score. It was a long time between drinks there when he has a win here at Laurel back in August, right? First win in like at least 15 starts, but he's capable of a good kick, and that was, I think this the horse is going to be closing a little bit along with Indefatigable. 5 and 6. Could be a battle of the wire.
Papal Law, he's winless on the grass while sprinting. However, he has run some good races, as you mentioned, against tougher. I didn't love anybody in this race. I couldn't really get too excited about anyone. Infallible Goal is coming. Yeah, looks good. Coming out of a barn that's ice cold. Algebraic. This is where I go. Only been on the turf once, but this one's in good form. Not too far off of the turf. Not great, but not too far off. I just had to go with the good form horse this afternoon and hope he can carry those races.
Well, he has the lick on the dirt. He's got the pace figures on the dirt. So I think he can try to duplicate that, right? That's why I'm hoping that the pace is quick and the 5 and 6 will close in. Battle Bus. I mean, what about this horse? He hasn't been the same lately, but he's got some good form back summer of last year, fall of last year against decent horses that could put him over the top this afternoon at a price. And the 10 in here is Big Man Can. We mentioned Can the Man on the grass, right? So there you go.
Race 4.
2 for 5 on the wet, but for only 1/3 on the grass, right?
Yep. Race 4 kicks off the Rainbow Pick 6 this afternoon. I go out over. We are in race 4, aren't we? Yes, we are in race 4. Carryover, $15,850. I put together a ticket for the Rainbow Pick 6, and this is how I played it. I go 4 deep right here in race number 4, race 5. Late scratch of the 2 here in race 5. So take the 2 out of race 5. I'll have to redo that ticket. We'll revisit it later. 137 in race 6, 1511 in race 7, 5-6 in race 8, and 6-9 in race 9. Late scratch here in race number 5. The 2 most impressive 9 o'clock scratch time, but we don't. It's just a suggestion. The 9 o'clock.
Oh yeah, there it is. Just popped up.
Here we go. Let's go to race 4. First level allowance race going 5.5 on the main track for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. We'll start with the 1. Forget about it for John Robb. This is your top pick, Dave. Decent race. I kind of like this one's race in his last start. Had to break from the outside, rated a little bit, but now draws the rail, does have gas. I think they're going to have to use it.
Well, I think so. With Winked out of the race, that's just a big scratch there, right? Forget about it. Has early speed. If they want to use it, I think it's going to be send them time today. It'll be take no prisoners from the inside. Remember, this filly beat a horse named My Flicker at Timonium, who came back to run 2 what we call dog leg up figures from the Rod Dog figures, right? Next out, a winner, and then next out, another win. 67.76 buyers posted by My Flicker in her next 2 starts. So I think it's go all the way. It's my single in the pick 4, which has become even cheaper now with the scratch of the 2 in the 5th race, which I guess is a good thing because now it's going to pay. It's a ticket might be $6, $7, $8, whatever it's going to pay.
We can split it.
We'll split it.
The 7
big spender.
Yeah, the 7 is Combat Queen. This one's my top pick for Mike Trombetta. I don't like making excuses for horses, but I can make an excuse in every one of her starts since coming back off a little bit of layoff, with the exception of her last one, which she won. She ran a top fig or close to a top fig in that last race. The two, who knows what you have in the mix for Mike. Another one for Mike Trombetta. Louis Garcia gets the call.
Yeah, Comeback Queen. I fear her. I thought she had like the perfect trip of trips last time out. You look at her record. She's 10 seconds from 26 starts. Finally got over the top at 4-1 with a good trip last time out, and is going to have to duplicate that trip this afternoon. I just don't see much speed in here. Let me talk a minute for La Casa d'Oro. Right? Interesting that we don't pick this horse.
I use her at the bottom.
Me too.
Use it at the bottom because you have to.
Going to get a lot of play because of the barn, the connections, right? Off since July, so she's fresh. I thought she was going to be a nice horse, and so did the Brittany Russell barn. They put her in the Miss Preakness, and she ran 6 behind Lady Scarlet and came back as a big disappointment in June. Going back to that race, that maiden white race she won, it was a decent buyer number, but to me, the race is yet to really, really class up. Nobody's come out of that race to dazzle. So that's why I kind of...
Nobody dazzled since it's been consistent, ultra consistent, maybe at a little bit of a lower level. But look, you can't throw out a Brittany horse off this type of layoff. If she runs back to that maiden race, they're all running for second. It's the end of the story. We need to take a quick break here on Today at the Race. When we come back, we'll talk about the late pick 5. Welcome back to Today at the Races. Race of 5 kicks off the late pick 5. This is a maiden special weight going 5.5 furlongs on the turf. We're going to start with the 8. This is Saucy for Brett Brinkman. We're going to look at her debut race. This is September 3rd at Delaware Park. And we're going to come out of that video and go right to a stat on Brett.
I think this is a great play today. They see Saucy in the blue colors on the lead using natural early speed. Got run down here by Better Call Mama, who came out of this maiden race to win again. Today gets first-time Lasix. Brett Brinkman, first-time Lasix. How about this? 29 for 128, 23%, and a positive ROA, a big $3.02 in the last 5 years. That is strong. This filly has speed. We know she's okay on the grass, although she's not running the Laurel grass. I think she's going to the front.
And that's a question I threw out here. I use her, and I used her in my pick 6. But my question is, she's going to get a fall Laurel firm, which I'm still going to reserve judgment on the firm turf course. You're going to get 5.5. You're going to get this long Laurel stretch. Delaware Park is just a little bit longer than a bull ring, really. The stretch is very, very short because of where the wire's set. So we get a lot of factors here this afternoon that are going to be different for Saucy, but must be respected. There's no doubt about that. Take out the 2 most impressive. The 1 is Sister Mac for Georgie Duarte. The blinkers go on, and she turns back this afternoon.
I like that. Going back to the video of Belmont, we don't have it, but I watched it just a couple of days ago. It seemed to me the horse is running okay, just kind of even pace and lost interest around the 3/8 pole. Maybe that's the reason the blinkers go on from the 3/8 to the quarter. Wasn't beaten far. Blinkers going on today with Caramanos for Duarte from the inside. Could see different filly this afternoon. And she's fit enough, right? You mentioned Saucy, the shorter stretch at Delaware, longer stretch here. Sister Max run 2 times, a mile and a 16th and a mile. That's fitness, right?
And you get Caramanos, and Caramanos, he'll get one up through there in traffic, and she's going to have to work out a trip. Absolutely, going to have to work out a trip this afternoon. Race 6 is for 3-year-olds and up, which have never won 3 races, going 1 mile on the main track, and we'll start with the 1. Now, both you and I have the 1 in the mix, not our top pick. But we're going to start with the 1, Lord Mio, for Claudio Gonzalez. Look, this has been certainly one of the highlights of Claudio's fall meet. There's no doubt about it. He came off of a layoff with a big effort, and we're going to look at it right now.
Next time Claudio Gonzalez runs a horse that's a first-time gelding, remind me.
Okay.
Because I'll tell you, did a little research. He's 25% first-time gelding. So if you're wondering where the number came from for Lord Mio, because he'd been running like 50s, 60s, right? Boom, pops up on this good track. First time gelding, beats one of the horses he run this afternoon, award nominated in there. This was a dazzling effort, but the barn's been kind of up and down this meet, but it was a very strong race, a strong number.
This was an up.
And it was first time gelding.
Yep, the
right.
first time gelding. It reminds me actually a little bit, and you'll remember the horse, Private Ryan, if you recall. When he went on that 5-win streak in the stake, first time gelding when he went after I gelded him and he went on it. So it does make a difference.
And improved numbers too.
And improved numbers, huge numbers.
Right. So
huge
that's it. Just draw a line underneath that October 14th race, and remember he was a full horse before that. So
you do have the 5 on top.
I'm hoping maybe some tables to be reversed today, right? Yeah, he got beat by Lord Mio, had a bad start that day, broke out, bumped, kind of lost interest, never really was handling the track, but he gets back today for Rudy Sanchez to Angel Suarez. He's won on this horse before, which I find interesting, and he was third, 3 back at Delaware to horse and win for Peace, who's really, really in form right now. Duplicated a strong number from that December 14th win at Delaware with another strong number in the next. So taking a little shot that the real award nominated shows up today, and why not? Rudy Barnes been hot.
I like the 3-110. I need Jose Corrales this afternoon. I need him once again here in race 6. This one's shown improvement over his last 4 and really stepped up in his last 2, running back-to-back lifetime figures. Race 7, first level allowance race, mile and 16th on the turf. We are going to start with the number 5, which is my price play of the day. And you actually have a price play in this race, too. We'll talk about our top pick, Woody Banner, the 5, Hammy Smith. This one gets back on the grass, and she's shown steady improvement since returning this spring on the turf.
Well, Ticulara ran second last time out behind Cupid's Strike, but there's another horse in here today that may try to press Ticulara just a little bit. I'm hoping, and where's my note? Beckon. There you go. Beckon and Ticulara hoping they keep each other honest in a spot, and here comes the late closing and far from the back kicking Woody Banter. May or may not happen, but I think there's a little more pace in the race today to help Woody Banter out. She ran second to one of the hottest starter allowance races around, and that's Acadian Girl last time out on a race that was taken off the turf and moved to the main track. Loves the turf, does Woody Banter, and likes a good pace. Will she get it? I'm banking on it, so are you.
Tequila for Michael Matz, Javion Toledo certainly is going in the right direction over the last 3 races for sure. Speed from the outside, going to have to work out a little bit of a trip from out there. Maybe can just lay.
Right. Depends on what Beckon does, and I don't think Barbosa's going to let her get away with anything. He's going to, you know how aggressive he is, right? He's going to make a move at some point in the race, so that's what I'm counting on it. The price play of the day.
Let's talk about your price play. This is the 9, Dawn.
Dawn, right? No run at all last time. I kind of liked her in that spot. Comes back today with Hector Diaz Jr., and Hector and Arnaud Delacour, a hot combination together. Just was, again, against a solo speed horse last time out in Tequilera on the outside. If she runs back to that race behind Viburnum, who came back to win in a big way, Gravitron, there was another horse, there's a triple key race there August 13th at Delaware. I think she'll be kicking late, and she's going to be a price. Please include in exacta plays.
The 1, Pharaoh's Song. This one's interesting. Motion's only been able to get this one on the grass one time, and that was in the Virginia Oaks, where she was 23-1, had no shot there. Synthetic and an off the turf event. Now he gets her back on the turf. Those 2 races in Kentucky will work here.
Yeah, this is synthetic for
synthetic
Graham
in the last
Motion
at Woodbine
to turf for Graham Motion, and it's not been a strong angle, so that's the kind of reason I went another way in this spot.
But it's a first time on the turf for Graham, and it's a drop in class.
And it's American Pharaoh.
And it's American Pharaoh out of an Unbridled Song mare. So we'll see how that goes. A 3-1 on the line for Pharaoh's Song in race 7. Race 8. What a nice race. Wide open allowance race. Fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, per $70,000, 3/4 of a mile on the main track. We'll start with your top pick. This is a 3 sway and to and fro for Mario Saray. We're going to look at her video from September 10th, and you have a stat on Mario Saray also.
Yeah, here is sway and to and fro. This is the shine again over crosstown at Pimlico. This sway and to and fro always kind of runs on that left lead, but gave Oksana everything she wanted in the stretch and wound up getting the neck in front at the wire when it counted. She's a filly that may not be on the lead in the spot because there's pace aplenty for sure in front of her, but I don't think she'll be too far back. She's going to be poised in the catbird seat, and there you go. She's coming back for race October 23rd, just 7 days ago, from Mario Saray Jr. With this kind of layoff, 7 days or less. In the last 3 years, Saray strikes at 24%, 11 for 45, and a big positive return on investment as well of $2.78. So a couple of things pointing in the direction, and there's no scratches in the race right at this time, which helps the factor that she'll probably be right off the pace in this spot. Noble Bid is kind of interesting. She's never really kind of passed a horse, right? But she's a quality horse who likes Laurel. Your top pick in here is a Princess Kokachin. Well, off that layoff for I think about 160 days for trainer Jerry Robb, 7 for 10 at Laurel. She might be the speed of the speed.
Well, I mean, I know that's an industry average, but we expect better from some of these guys. But look, he didn't bring Princess Kokachin off a layoff in all those races. This is a one fast filly. She's a 10-time winner. She comes in here with sharp works, and I think she pops the latches under Xavier and says goodbye to this field, even off the layoff.
Yeah, she could be. She set the pace in 4 dirt stakes, quality horses, right? Very important in this spot, so that's why she could be popping the latches on top. Got Edie Meeny Miny Mo in here. Don't let Sweet fool you's got early speed. Liam's Light appears to have some kind of speed down to the inside, but maybe, I don't know, not as fast maybe as some of the others. Tifa Kelly Breen, Noble Bid on the inside. Are they going to try to rate her today or just kind of go for it? Man, I think their only hope is maybe to kind of go for it and see if she can sustain off of Princess Kokachin or chasing or dueling or whatever she wants to do. And that's why I think Sway and To and Fro is going to be at a good spot today. That's the best bet.
He's going to have to run back to swaying to and fro to that Shine Again Stakes. So recent 2 races certainly aren't going to get it done this afternoon. He's certainly going to have to run back to that video spotlight that we saw. Race 9.
Alternates
Maiden
are out.
At 20, 5.5 of furlongs. Take out the 7. This is a late scratch. Take out the 7.
You're killing me.
I know they're killing me
You're
too.
killing me.
Syncopated. Take out the 7. Syncopated. So we'll start with my top pick in here. Dave, this is a 6. Imagine it all. Capuano is putting the blinkers back on this afternoon. This is something he doesn't do very often, only about 9 times over the past couple of years, but he hits at 44%. This one's getting back to the grass where he has run some decent races.
Maybe the blinkers off will do the trick. The horse, has run his first 4 races before being claimed without the blinkers. Blinkers didn't really seem to help his speed figures that much. Is this going to do the trick, put him over the top, or is maybe Dale a little bit exasperated that he's just kind of been even-paced? I don't know.
I think blinkers coming off and turning back to 5.5 on the grass. Dale has not sprinted this horse on the grass since claiming this one. Yeah. I have an interesting horse in here I want to talk about. That's a 9 Slow Gin Fizz.
Okay.
By Fedbiz, out of a Giants Causeway mare. Out of a mare. Now, this was getting turf for the first time, Slow Gin Fizz, and I'm just curious why it took so long. Out of a mare who is a winner on the turf and stakes placed on the turf by Sharp Humor, that breeding works for me. Look, you can't look at the numbers on the main track and go, okay, well, yeah, but it may move this horse up a bit of a stab here in race 9 and another race that I'm not in love with anybody. And, of course, the 2 Quincannon.
My default play now with a 7 out syncopated is Rennie. Never been in the grass. He's by Great Notion out of a damn Cape Cod Bay who won $91,000 on the grass in 13 starts and ran into kind of an improving buzzsaw. Now, whether it's the slop that moved Katie's Notion up last time out, I don't know. But had a big step up in class there on October 2nd, and at 12-1, grabbed that slop and went on with it, and ran a decent number in doing so. And it was a big step up, not only speed figure wise, but class wise for that horse. So maybe the horse is just running into an informed horse right now. I think he's going to do a lot better on the turf. He's worth a shot on the turf. He's only been out a couple of times. Some of these others have had many chances. Rip it 16 times, Playing Gold 22 times. Quinn Cannon in here, the 2-horse, another one who's trying grass for the first time out, the Damn Emerald Song, $47,000 in grass earnings. I think moving to the grass will be a positive for Quinn Cannon on the inside.
A wide open 9th race here at Laurel Park. Remember, Rainbow Pick 6 gets started in race 4. We have a nice $15,000 plus carryover in the Rainbow Pick 6, $15,851, just under $16,000 in the Rainbow Pick 6 this afternoon. I'm going to leave for a moment. You've got to jump back in here and give us scratches and changes. Thanks for joining me, and Forrest Boyce joins me this afternoon. Good luck this afternoon.
Good luck.